Women might be to thank for reopening the federal government. A group of female senators were the driving force behind a key bipartisan deal. The New York Times says that Senator Susan Collins got the ball rolling on it. She was joined by other women from both parties, and they managed to find the middle ground when their male colleagues couldn't. One congresswoman says that is no coincidence.
We could solve a lot of these problems. Women are more focused on consensus building. Not every woman, but the times that I've worked with women, women are not as focused on obliterating the other side. They want to find a way to get to yes.
All right, so that's a Democrat's perspective, and we're joined now by Republican political strategist Leslie Sanchez. So the other side on that, too. So, Leslie, why is it that women seem to be getting the job done and not their male counterparts?
Sure. I think if you look back, since women have really been engaged in senatorial or federal government positions, that we've been seen as the ultimate collaborators. And this was a great example of that. This is more than a clash of political parties. It's about collaboration. And since women are still only 20% of the seats in the Senate, they still are considered the outsiders. So what you're seeing is women reaching across the aisle. And I've heard one senator explain it to me. It's like, you know, we may not like everybody in our family, but during times of crisis, we learn to work together. And that fundamental basic philosophy is what American voters are looking for. It's refreshing, it's authentic, and it's getting the job done. And
it's what's getting the government running, literally. And Republican senators, Democratic senators, on both sides of the aisle, you see there's all this pressure, on yes, say no. And that's got to be tough to navigate sometimes, I'm sure, especially when you're trying to get elected again. But why is it that, women just seem to withstand the pressure then, according to the New York Times, versus the men? Is that something innate to women?
Well, women have historically been known to run different types of campaigns when they're running for these types of seats. Well, for whether it's a gubernatorial position to be the governor or senator, as you're seeing here, these big statewide efforts, they are collaborative leaders. Instinctively, they have very set positions and passion points that lead them to run for office. But these kind of principles of reaching across the aisle, whether it's for their children and solving disability problems or solving, gun control or any types of issues, these are fundamentally women who've learned they have to learn to work on both sides of the aisle. So when they get to Washington, it's instinctively something they're capable of doing. They're still seen as the outsider, but I think what you're really talking about is they're so much more independent, and they take the heat politically in many cases for doing that.
So what do you think then? What would happen if we had a female president then?
I think this country is more than ready for a female president. You see that we can pass the money test. We saw that starting in 2008. Women can raise significant amounts of money. You see that electorally that a lot of people are ready for a female president. So we've passed those hurdles. It's an issue of preparing these candidates, getting the experience, and the legislative accomplishments like you see with Senator Collins. That's what's going to make people take a serious look.
And so do you think overall that it sounds like you're saying we need to have more women in politics? Am I just putting words in your mouth?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We always need more women. Interestingly enough, when the country's in times of crisis, whether it's an economic downturn or just, the times of war, you'll see a lot more opportunities for women to throw their hats in because people are tired of the status quo. And women historically are not seen as part of that. We're outsiders, independent thinkers, collaborative. They want some kind of oversight over what the status quo in Washington's doing. Women have filled that role exceedingly well on both sides of the aisle. And in this case, we're seeing Republican women step up in a meaningful way, and they got this government moving again.
Leslie Sanchez, we definitely thank you for your perspective.
Oh, thank you.